Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Duster Squad podcast, the Sunday evening edition, as it has become, it appears. We're here,
Again,
just three of us.
We're just back to what we used to be.
Yeah. I tried to force us away from the Sunday nights. Couldn't do it. Eric is not with us. We thought we were all going to be on, and then last second, Eric's got something to do. Before, actually, Nick, I don't know if he texted you, but he's coming up here. He's coming up to our neck of the woods next week.
Yeah, I heard him saying something last week about it.
Yeah, he's going to be doing Albany Med stuff, which I've had an unfortunate situation at Albany Med, and with a specific attending doctor. You know who you are. This bastard. Let me tell you that story quick. Okay, so I was having stomach problems, so I went there. It ended up being a Crohn's flare up. I've told you guys this, but it was a Crohn's flare up, and this fucking doctor. I was in the damn thing. They never found me a bed at the ER, which I don't blame them because there's a shitload of people there. But they never find me a bed, and then like 24 hours later, the dude's like, "All right, he comes in. He's like, I think we're gonna get you admitted here." And at this point, my pain's all gone, and I'm like, "Fuck that! Just get me out of here." So we were like, "No, I don't need to be admitted and spend more days in the fucking ER. We know what the problem is." He's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna feel your belly anyway." Everybody was feeling my fucking belly. Everybody who came in. So the dude's feeling my belly, and I'm in a wheelchair. And the way that he's feeling my stomach is he's rocking the wheelchair with how hard he's pushing my stomach. So like it's almost like he was trying to get me to admit that I had pain so he could admit me. So fuck you, buddy. You know who you are. I didn't have any pain, no matter how hard he was pushing me. But that's whatever. That's beside the point. You guys.
So needless to say, Mike won't be going back to the Albany Med ER.
No, it's gonna. I'll have to be half dead to go back there.
Just pick a different hospital. There's an upper end.
So anyway,
okay,
that'll be my next one. Well, that's it for me. How's your guys' weekend?
I went hunting on Saturday. Didn't see a thing.
Oh, nice.
So it was a long day.
Deer hunting? Is it with the bow or muzzleloader?
Muzzleloader. Yep. Didn't see anything. A couple coyotes got shot, not by me, but a couple coyotes got shot. Stinky little bastards.
Dude, you know what I've noticed up north is I don't see any bucks. Like my parents with their house in the back, there's deer everywhere. There's no bucks. They're all I don't know how they keep multiplying. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, there's got to be some.
There's got to be around. A buck somewhere. That dude's getting laid.
There's just one massive buck that's somewhere out there.
He's just getting wined and dined by all the ladies. Benny, how was your weekend? What'd you get up to?
Oh, well, I went to a Habs game.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a win.
That was delayed.
So that's always nice. Yeah, how am I coming through? Because I've been hearing you guys hella delayed right now.
It's not too bad. Not too bad.
First, you were a couple seconds delayed there.
Yeah, but went to Montreal to see the Habs, and I'm just gonna keep talking and see how this goes here. Obviously, a win's always nice. The first period was god awful on both ends. It was just bad hockey, and then the second period got a little more exciting, except for I think everybody just forgot how to walk through a crowd over the off season, because I specifically in the first intermission did like a run to the souvenir shop because I wanted to get a Kirby Doc shirt, who got injured after the first period and didn't
promptly
come back to the game.
After buying the shirt.
That was cool. Yes. But there was like so many periods of time where I was literally just standing still or in a crowd of people, like trying to move, and like nobody was moving. So I literally, by the time I got to the store and grabbed the shirt, I was in the line for like 2 minutes before the period started back up again. So because of that, I missed Cole Caulfield's goal at the beginning of the second period.
Dang.
Which was the nicest goal of the game. But I saw the rest. So it was a good game. It was a good time. It's always fun to have a win. Got into the cheer and finally had some people around me that were doing it too, and I wasn't just yelling by myself. Like to get Go Habs Go chants going like I usually do.
Well, that's because we're the ones around.
Usually do it in no success because
that was
nobody else
nice.
wants to do it with you.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. It was good to see my grandpa. We went out to dinner before the game. It was a fun time.
Cool.
Oh, good, Ben. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm sure.
Thank you.
Did you get in? How are you planning on getting in a lot this year?
What's that? Sorry.
I said, are you planning on getting in a lot this year?
Yeah. Sorry, it was.
You can pause the download if you want.
Yeah, I forgot to account for the fact it'd be delayed coming from you guys too. Yeah, I actually have my next game planned. Is November 11th. The Bruins are coming in on a Saturday, so I'm getting into a Habs Bruins game, which is always a good time. Jesus. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, well, quick.
Let me stand this can up so I don't keep kicking it.
Quick couple of contracts to talk about. 2 from Buffalo, 2 from Winnipeg. I'm sure there's more, but these are the only ones I want to speak on first. Buffalo,
The major ones.
2 defensemen, Dahlin and Owen Power, each signing extensions. Dahlin's 8 years, $11 million, which makes him the highest paid defenseman other than Carlson. Because Carlson's kind of like, he's getting $11 million total. So that's a good little deal. Yeah, what do you think, Nick?
I mean, I would say that he's not better than Makar, but he's going to set the going right now because the guys a couple years ago did it, and he's better than them.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
So I get that.
Yeah.
The other one I understand too because the Sens basically did the same thing with the young guy. So.
Yeah. So Owen Power, they basically they're like similar stats and they get a similar deal. 7-year extension, $8.35 million per year. So it's not bad. Yeah. It's again, you think the same as you thought with Sanderson. It's like that's a lot of money to throw at a dude who's not played all that much.
Right.
But again, like he looks good.
Like they're projected to be good. Most of those guys are projected to be good, and in 7 years from now, right, or even 5 years from now, they're probably going to be better than what those values are.
Oh, for
it's kind of like the last McKinnon contract, right? He was way overplaying his value. So.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Now these other 2, I'm surprised about just because what they're currently. So both.
Yeah. So I put those little numbers in the outline. Those numbers after their names are their ages.
30.
So Hellebuck and Scheifele, both 30 years old, and they sign a 7-year extension, and that's an extension. So that doesn't even start this year. So
yeah,
at the end of that, they're going to be 38. Each of them will be 38 at the end of those contracts. Now it's $8.5 million. That's not terrible.
There's been worse, but
you're going to have a 38-year-old
at least it's
goaltender.
At least it's not Carey Price and $10.5 million.
That's true. Yeah, but he without injuries, he would have been living up to that, I feel.
I think that the Hellebuck one is better than the Scheifele one, just because Scheifele, I mean, he's been okay the last couple of years, but he's not been like awesome. And it's like Mike Smith played until he was like 40, right?
He was like 41 or 42.
Right. So like he was still, and think back 5 years before that, or 4 years before that, he was still pretty good before that anyway. So like I could see Hellebuck still being.
You can totally be good late into your 30s. Right. I agree. Like Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Ovechkin.
Yeah.
Joe Pavelski. Holy shit. He's gotten better, it seems.
And I don't think Hellebuck has too much of an injury history. Like especially like he doesn't have any hip or knee injuries are the killers for goalies, because once you have one, you're probably going to have 2 or 3 more by the time all is said and done.
Yeah.
So that's good. But yeah, I mean it's definitely It's a risky play, but I do understand it to a degree because Winnipeg is a market that has such a hard time getting anybody in. They kind of have to sacrifice a little to keep what talent they have around.
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, and I mean, take them both off that team, and they're way worse without him. But yeah, it's a gamble too, right? Like
they like it's a situation where right now those contracts look okay, and by the end they're gonna look kind of shite. But
Yeah.
I think they need.
Well, I mean, by the end of their careers, they're
that.
going to be needing to do a rebuild anyway.
very true.
And plus, they need to do that with those guys because what else is going to attract anybody to Winnipeg without them, right? Like if you
especially
just you lose them both from free agency or whatever, right? Like I know they publicly they both seemed like they weren't interested in being there, but like obviously that's not necessarily the case. But regardless, if you would have lost both of them going into next year, end of next season, or if you lose them both at the end of next year, then nobody's going there. So
very true. Well, all right then. Moving on here, I'm gonna talk about the Lightning. They are sucking right now. They're not playing very well. They won a game barely, their first game of the season against the Predators. They played. Let me tell you, the first period.
That was a fun game,
dude.
That was a fun game.
They looked so good in the first period.
I mean, for an outside observer, that was a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. But dude, the first period, I was like, my God, these guys look ready to fucking win the whole thing. And then the second period, they looked like shit, and they were just slow and fucking. They just were doing all the wrong things, and I was like, dude, you look so good. What's changed? But they did pull the win out. Johansson, he was Johansson, man. He's not a fucking starter in this league. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then they lost to fucking Detroit 6-4, which I think it was 5 and an empty netter. But a lot of those goals were a lot of those goals were weird. There was some ricochets in front of the net. There was a couple of really bad ones from Johansson. And it was just I think I didn't get to watch it because I was at the wedding, but there was a lot of shoddy defensive end play by the Lightning. They weren't doing what they normally do. And they need to do that with Johansson because it's not fucking Vasilevsky. They need to cover. They need to give him the easiest saves he can possibly get. And they have not been doing that. So I feel bad for him. I don't even know who they're playing tonight in net. I know they are?
Yeah.
So if they win tonight, good Lord.
They've already given up.
You're probably going to lose me for a second.
All right, we're going to lose Benny for a second. Dude, they're in a situation with goalies here, and it's fucking rough. And I don't know why they didn't claim any. I don't know, Martin Jones, I don't know why they didn't claim that dude.
Martin Jones looked decent last year, too, so I'm surprised that didn't happen.
I just don't know why.
He's not going to play. He's not even on the roster.
Yeah, they waived Martin Jones to send him down to the Marlies, right?
Right. Yeah.
So he's in the AHL. Was he making $800K? You can't grab that guy?
Martin Jones has been a off and on starter in the league for the last 10 years.
Yeah,
and a full-time starter for half of it.
He would be doing better than Johansson. I'm almost sure of it.
Yeah, he probably would be. That's because it's a pretty low bar. I mean, not to dump on Johansson, but he's clearly not there.
No,
to do the job he's being asked of right now.
And I'm not going to put it all on him. The Lightning have not been playing well in front of him. They have not. And it's
they've given up 14 shots in the first period tonight. So
fuck,
they
man.
haven't.
Gosh.
Jeez. Who are they playing tonight?
Ottawa. Dude,
Oh, no.
it's bad, man. It's real bad. They gotta get it. They gotta get it figured out.
I mean, Ottawa's kind of good now.
No, Otto was good, but the
But
14
you still
shots,
gotta defend, man.
14 shots. Wow.
Yeah, you gotta defend, man.
The positives I will bring out of the first couple games is the stars are being stars. Stamkos has 2 goals. Cooch has 2 goals. Point has none. He's got 3 assists from the first game and did nothing against Detroit, which is unfortunate. But their good players are playing well offensively. We just need to shore up the defensive end. Sergachev's looked kind of shite. He's looking maybe not worth that giant contract they gave him, but
Well, that's
who
not
knows?
what you want.
We'll see. It's the first couple games.
Yeah, it is early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it takes a minute. So.
The true test, and by test I mean it's going to be like the match of the shite, is going to be next game, Tampa Bay versus Buffalo. It's going to be the
Buffalo
dregs of
struggled
the
out the
Atlantic
gate?
Division. Buffalo has started 0-2 with I think 3 goals for both of those games. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's my second place pick.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
All of ours. Yep. Listen, they're gonna do it, man. Listen, they're gonna be warm. They'll warm up.
It's so fucking early. It's so fucking early.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even get concerned until you're at least partway through November to see where things stand.
If you're still
you're skidding still into November, then you're probably fucked. But just because that division's so tough, but I don't foresee that happening with either of those 2 teams.
Yeah. So that's how the Lightning are doing. I don't know why they didn't claim Martin Jones. I would have enjoyed that, but whatever.
Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea.
My guess is they just couldn't fit it. Maybe they just couldn't.
Yeah,
fit that.
I mean, how tight are they?
They're pretty tight. Well, actually, with Vasi on the IR, they got tons of space. They easily could have done it then. And then then when Vasi came back, they could have just been like, "All right, send you to Syracuse."
Is that a LTIR qualification?
Yeah,
for Vasi?
Yeah, he's on LTIR, so they can go. They got plenty because he's a 9.5.
Unless they were still super cap restricted without him or
with him, they couldn't be because that would be they could.
Yeah,
be. He's a $9.5 million contract. Though.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Goodness.
So I'll talk quick about the Senators because I haven't watched much on it yet. So I did watch the first period of the first game when Danielle shit on me for.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna text.
Wait, what happened?
What did she say to you?
She was like, I don't remember because it was in Snapchat. She was like, "You watching, bro?" I'm like, "I don't have ESPN Plus." And then I was on the TV and I didn't have it logged in. I looked at my phone and oddly enough, I still had hers logged in. So I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll watch the game."
Yeah, there you go.
So I watched the first period and then, but she was like, "You're a noob." Or something stupid like that. I was like, "Ow." Anyway,
yeah,
so I watched that and then I didn't watch the whole game because I think it was during the week and I just didn't want to stay up.
It was like Wednesday or something.
So they lost that. They've played two games on their third tonight. They're 1-1. They won pretty good. So they lost to Carolina game 1, 5-3. Gave up 3 in the third, I think is what happened. And then because I think they went up in the third 3-2 and then they lost 5-3. So I think they gave up 3 towards the end of the period. Anyway, the young guys are scoring too, which is nice to see. But then they played Carolina again last night, and I couldn't watch that because I was just getting back into town late, and they beat them pretty good last night.
The good news is, so they've lost to
Carolina.
Yeah, they've lost to Carolina. So there's no shame in losing to Carolina.
Yeah, and they split that.
Carolina's good.
Right. So they picked one of those 2 games, so you can't really complain too much. And I know that their young guys scored. Stützle scored a couple times. Kachuk scored a couple times. Stützle scored once, I think.
You want to know who the lead scorer is?
Chychrun, I think.
It's the Chick Man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep, he scored. Sanderson actually scored last night.
Oh, nice.
T-Sank scored tonight.
Yeah.
So
that one's not.
Their offense is starting to click. Giroux's got a few shots on goals. I bet you he gets one tonight. But yeah, I mean, everything seems
Probably.
to be like
It's fucking Matt Tompkins. No offense.
I would say that I'm a little concerned that the fact that Korpisalo gave up 5 goals in the first game of the season, but second game I think he only gave up 2, maybe 3 last night. I think it was 2. I think they won 5-2, 5 or 6-2.
Yeah, I think it was 5. It was definitely 5. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 though. But yeah. Who are they playing tonight?
Korpisalo.
Oh, they playing on a back-to-back?
I don't know. That's what I'm about to look, is to see who they played last night.
Or is that a back-to-back?
So they played.
They might not have played last night. I just thought they would.
They did play last night.
Okay.
Are you fucking kidding me? I got to do it the hard way.
Regardless, I hate the new NHL website. When you look at the standings, you can't click on a team name in the standings to go to their website. What the fuck is that? What is that?
Yeah, it's not good. And the app is also much, much worse.
Oh, I'm sorry. They didn't play Carolina last night. They played Philly last night.
Yeah, Philly, and they won. Yeah.
5-2. Sorry.
Oh,
so
damn.
they played Forsberg last night, and Korpisalo played. But they're playing Korpisalo again tonight.
He's looking at a shutty right now with this team.
I wouldn't count on that.
Fucking guys, don't give them a power play. That's one thing I will say.
So they're doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, 1-1-0. They got the same record as the Lightning, but now they're beating the Lightning, so they're gonna jump them. Benny,
I've got to say, yeah.
The Canadiens,
eh? Yeah. It's been an interesting. It's only been 2 games. I don't know if were you in the chat yet, Mike? I was talking to Nick about the Habs schedule. Were you there too? Where they played on a Wednesday, playing against Toronto. Then they played last night on a Saturday against Chicago. Yep. And they don't play again until Wednesday against Minnesota. I'm like, why is it so spaced out?
Dude, they do. I think they fucking do that because it was the same with the Lightning. The Lightning played Tuesday and they didn't play again until Saturday. Like, I don't know why they do that at the beginning of the year.
It's like you just know that there's gonna be some stretch in like February or something where it's gonna be 4 games in 6 days.
Yeah, it's gonna be something ridiculous.
It's gonna be something stupid. And I'm like, I don't know why this is so spaced out, but okay. And it was a bit of a bananas first game against Toronto. The Habs, honestly, like, they didn't control play, but like they held their own in the first period, and they came out of the first period up 2-0, and like just genuinely looked good against Toronto, like as good as they can. Like, realistically, looking at these 2 rosters, they did all of the things they would have to do to make it work against Toronto. Like, you got to survive a little and
I mean, they had a 2-0 lead, you know. That's
you got to survive a little and capitalize on their chances, and they did exactly that. And then you go into the second, and I think it was like 6 minutes or so into the second. I don't remember exactly because it was when I was leaving work and I had it in my ear listening to it on the radio as I was heading home. Cole Caulfield thinks he scores on the power play, but then it's like a 4-inch like offside call review, like 10 seconds before the goal kind of play. Yeah. And I'm like, cool, you're right, but fuck. So it would have been 3-0, and had that challenge failed, it would have been a power play again for the Habs, but the challenge succeeded and becomes 2-0 Habs, and then the Habs just decide to take all of the penalties and give up 3 unanswered against the Leafs, I think before the second period was out. But then, in the third, they scored 3 unanswered. And after getting outshot, I think like 16 to like single digits, very low single digits in the second period. Yeah. They come back out in the third and score 3 unanswered of their own and go up 5-3. and then Toronto pulls their goalie with 4:45 left, and Austin Matthews ended up getting both goals to tie it back up with the extra attacker. We make it through the entire overtime, including a Habs power play where they looked like ass because
I saw that. I was watching.
It's like, guys, I love Cole's one-timer as well. But if you do that every time,
yeah, I was like, I literally was watching with Danielle, and I was like, they're trying to get it to Caulfield, but the other team knows that. Like,
it's like you can't do it. Literally, it's like I went from like 5 years of feeding it to Shea Weber on the fucking blue line for a one-timer to a year and a half of them doing the same thing with Petrie and it not working nearly as well to now it's the cross ice to Caulfield every fucking time. And I'm like, guys, you have to add something else. You have to have something fucking else for it to work at all.
Yep.
Like, and they don't. So that's cool. And then we went to a shootout, and it was a pretty tight shootout. But then Toronto gets the one goal. I think it was Marner.
It was. That was a pretty nice goal, actually.
It was a pretty nice goal.
A little bit of hands.
I'm pretty sure Cole put it off a fucking post, which pissed me off.
I think he did.
Not like pissed off at him, it just pissed me off in general.
Yeah.
But that was still a pretty wildly entertaining game, and they put up a hell of a fight against a team that admittedly has a much better roster. So I was like, I can't really be that mad at it. Yeah. And then last night we talked about it a little, but they got a win against a team they should have. It was a little closer at the end than I would have liked, but they held on and they did it. Also, I will say 2 really gutsy blocks when Chicago had the extra attacker. It was like last face off with like 20 seconds left. First, a block from David Savard took one off the leg, and then it looked like Nick Suzuki took one off the knee.
Oh dear.
Blocking one with 3 seconds left. So huge plays there at the end to cap it off. So, gutsy win. I wish Kirby Dach didn't get injured during said win, because the best line of that Toronto game was Newhook, Dach, Slavkovsky. They looked fucking fantastic. It was the best game Slavkovsky's ever played in his career. He was buzzing. He got a couple. I think he got either 1 or 2 assists, and one of them was pretty nice.
We gotta talk about that.
He had chances. What? Slavkovsky?
We gotta talk about the curse, Ben. Your curse.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's when you bought that shirt in the first intermission, at the beginning of the second period, and when does he get hurt?
He had already been hurt as I bought it, but I found out after the fact. I found out after the fact that I got back to my seat and I opened up Twitter and I was like, motherfucker.
I thought, that's funny.
So
maybe you aren't the curse then.
Maybe. But yeah, I hope it's nothing long term. They said lower body. I hope they pulled him for the game. I hope it just ended up being they were being cautious and it's not going to be that serious. And then maybe the 4 days in between the next game helps. We shall see, or at least we'll find out what's happening soon. But they're about to get real thin if he's gone for any amount of time, because Christian Dvorak, I don't think can come back before the beginning of November, because they put him on LTIR. So I think the games or time limit brings him to the beginning of November, and we are only halfway through October.
Yeah.
So it might, if it's a bad injury, their lines are about to get interesting. I think we're going to see Newhook at center.
But you're wishing you had Mike Hoffman now, huh?
Yeah.
No. No, I don't.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a good start, all things considered. They showed a lot of they showed a lot of fight against Toronto. They get the win against Chicago.
Pretty good start.
Can't complain about that. It's a good start for where they're at.
Third place. All right, aren't they third place?
They're
right
in
now?
third place right now, and even if Ottawa wins
playoff
tonight,
spot.
even if Ottawa wins tonight, I think no, Ottawa will
would
jump
be
them.
2-1. Yeah, they would.
Yeah, Ottawa
jump them.
would jump them. Yeah.
Hey, Tampa could still win tonight, so let's not just.
And then in that case, Tampa would jump in front of them.
Mm. But I don't know. It's been fun. It's a good
cool.
start.
Yeah, no, I'd be happy with that. Didn't they start like absolute ass last year, or did they start really well?
No, I think they had a pretty good start to the year, but
Okay.
they had a good start to the year, but it was very buoyed by really strong goaltending, which they have not had. They have not had to start this season.
No.
Well, this will be my last Habs point because I've been talking. But that Jake Allen is so confusing because some of those saves he made in that Toronto game, late in that Toronto game, he was making some 10-bell saves, like he was going. But then like two of the goals were just you just can't do that. Like you can't. You're an NHL goalie. That's not. You can't do that.
You can't.
So it's like it's like I don't know what to think of him. And then last night, Sam Montembeault admittedly did look pretty okay, but then it's Chicago's offense. So I'm like, I don't know if that means much. And he looked pretty bad in the preseason, so I can't really say anything yet based off of the Chicago game. But we shall see. We shall see.
Primo?
Primo's still up with the Habs. They have 3 goalies right now, which will probably change at some point. They were worried he was going to get lost on waivers, which I don't know. His stats are fucking ass, so I don't know.
If you send him down now, the Lightning will probably take him. They'll be like, please, anyone else.
Which is true. You know, they might just bring somebody in to give him a go. But I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm interested to see because he has not. I'm interested to see if they get him in one of the games because I know they play. I feel like they play Columbus before the end of October, and I think that would probably be a good team to give him a try against. You're not like not to say anything, but like the Habs and Columbus are in about the same spot.
They're pretty equal.
They're about the same spot right now. Like we're both kind of trying to figure this shit out and climb our way back up. So I wonder if they maybe get him a start there, just because like if he's up here, he's got to play at some point. So like you got to choose a game.
Right.
So we shall see. We shall see.
All right. I will be speaking for Eric today. The Islanders. He didn't send me a thing, so I can't read it word for word, which is what I like to do. But they've had 1 game, so that's the thing. All these other teams have played 2 games. They played once last night, and they beat Buffalo.
Or on to
3-2.
their third.
Yeah.
What is the schedule?
It's bad.
Who'd they play? You said.
Buffalo. They beat Buffalo 3-2.
Oh wow!
But Buffalo, I'm telling you, they look off. There's something's going on here.
I mean, it's still a young.
it's 2 days.
It's still a
they're
young
2 games.
team. They're 2 games in. Like
They'll be okay.
that. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, they've looked kind of iffy, but they beat them. So you can only beat the team in front of you.
Yeah.
Brock Nelson scores. You forget the other people who scored, but Brock Nelson's the only one I saw that I made note of. But yeah,
Hey, good on them.
so they won, and I think it was in New York. I think it was a home opener. So
Oh, nice.
so good for them.
Good for them indeed.
All right. Well, you gentlemen want to play a little hurdle then? And we
Hell yeah!
do a little break, or we can just do, if you guys are good, since we're doing a short show, we could do hurdle right into our last thing, which is talking about fantasy hockey, boys.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
All right.
I think Danielle's gonna get me, but we'll get to that.
Your dad's got me because I fucking didn't look at my lineup before I left Friday night.
All right. Here we go. No, it's not. Why is it not here? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. But how about this? Okay. You know what? We'll talk about that in a second. Okay. You guys looking?
Oh yeah.
All right. There you
Hold
go.
Hold on.
Oh,
Dungeons and Dragons?
Dungeons and Dragons.
What are you, fucking 10?
Yeah.
Nicholas, this
I'm
is
just
not the call.
kidding.
This is not the call to be
Martin-
saying these
Martin
things.
Jones. Let's try Martin Jones.
Oh, that could be, dude. Oh. Martin. What if Nick one-shots it?
I'll be very impressed. Wait, why isn't he
Oh,
there?
he's not there. Hold on.
Just type Jones, maybe.
Okay, it's not Martin Jones.
So it's not Martin Jones.
So you did not one
Free
shot.
guess. Free guess.
It's like a high and tight. Is that Tony D'Angelo?
No, I don't think so.
Is that Elias Pettersson?
It might be. Yeah, try it.
Maybe.
Speaking of Pettersson, he's my MVP. Shit.
Nobody is a Western Conference guy.
All right, so for whatever reason, it's not showing logos,
That's fine.
but it's not Vancouver.
We can read. We can read letters.
And he's not a center, and he's not in the Pacific.
In the West, so in the Central. So Central, not center, not Swedish. Much older than 24, so you're looking like 29 or older. Oh boy, here we go. It's gonna be bad.
I gotta see what Central teams are.
Colorado,
like
St.
every
Louis.
I feel like every time we do this, I like crap out on the what teams and what
No,
division.
that happens to me all the time. I'm always like, I've listed 7, but I can't think of the last one. Colorado, St. Louis,
Louis,
Minnesota.
Wait,
You got it, Benny? Are you gonna 2-shot it?
try Lekanen.
Is that Lek? Oh,
L-E-H.
I had it right.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
Oh, we got some information. We got some information. Okay.
He's not a left wing. Could be a right wing. And the number is higher than 62.
And they're Finnish.
And it's a Finn.
They are
yeah,
Finnish.
It's a Finn, yeah. So let's see. I mean, how old is? Could that be Forsberg? Is he Finnish? Is that Sweden?
I don't think he's Finnish.
Okay. And also, he's number 9.
Yeah, there's that too.
It's also a high number.
Yep.
So Central teams.
Minnesota.
We got-
Do they have any Finnish players? Is Zuccarello Finnish? No.
No, but he's got long hair.
Oh, yep, that's right, yep.
Eriksson Ek Finnish or Swedish?
I'm pretty sure Swedish, but it's hard to tell sometimes. You want me to throw it in there?
Give it a go.
I don't know how high his number is.
He's probably Swedish, actually, but
You wanna?
Fucking-
You wanna? It's got the double S. Yeah, he's Swedish.
yeah.
Dang, he's young.
Where did? So what nationality is?
I didn't think he was the center. Oh,
Ekman Larson.
well, he's in the Atlantic, so
Oh yeah,
Is he?
that's right.
Where is-
He's Wait,
he's
where's
with
it?
Florida.
Oh yep, that was their big D pull-in. That was their replacement for Gudis. Probably work. Okay, Central team. So we got, it's not Minnesota. Predators. Is it a Predator?
What's the age?
28. I don't know Finnish. Like, give me.
Is that UC Saros? He might be 28 by now because he's kind of like taking the crease. Like,
Oh,
There you go.
nice, Benny. Nice.
there we go.
All right. Do you guys want to do another one, or do you want to just call it there?
Nah, let's get her going. Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah.
Because we'll kick ourselves in the ass and have to go through fucking 8 guesses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Why is this being a pain in the cheeks? Okay. So Fantasy Hockey Boys, we switched up the format, and we're doing week by week matchups, sort of like fantasy football. And I must say, I think it's better. I think it's been better already.
I have enjoyed it.
Because it's
Yeah.
you're looking at the other player. You're not so much thinking, it's not going to be like a marathon where it's like all year. Like you gotta, if you miss a day of if you miss a Saturday, if you don't put the right lineup, you're fucked. You know what I mean? It's not gonna
Right,
be
Yeah.
you
like
could
that.
lose 100 points on a Saturday, and that could be all you need to
Yeah.
start.
Nick.
falling.
Nick with the comeback of the year last night. I'll tell you. That dude was behind by so much going into Saturday, and then ended up. I think you were a couple points behind after, but you had 134 points last
I
night.
had like 220 at the end of the night, and your dad had like 224.
Yeah, but
He's
you were so
projected
far
to
behind.
beat me, and he's projected to beat me by 3. And
Do you have anybody playing?
Yeah, I have Stutzla and Natchez.
Okay.
So it's possible, but he's also
Yeah.
got some people.
He's got Hagel, and I don't
Hagel.
know who else.
Hagel
Is
and
that
Cooch.
it? Hagel and Cooch. Okay, so yeah, that could be unfortunate
Yeah.
for you.
So my thing though is I set my roster on Wednesday when I knew I had my first games, and I never had the foresight to look ahead to how my roster was set for later in the week.
Yep.
And I went out of town Friday night, didn't have cell service, so I didn't even think about it. And then I got back last night. I either checked it late last night or early to this morning, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm close. And then I looked at my bench and I'm like, fuck, I have like no points from Natchez last night, and I got like 17 from Draisaitl.
Yeah.
I had a couple from Kempe, and I had like almost 10 from Kempe. I'm like, I would have had enough to jump him right there, and I fucking didn't do it right. I did not set it, and I didn't look ahead. So this week, I already did look ahead and made sure I have Draisaitl in my lineup on the heavy nights.
I luckily haven't had too much sitting on my bench yet. Timo Meyer's been fucking me. He's been fucking me. I should have taken that trade.
Give him some time.
But
yeah, because you didn't want to do that trade because Kuzmenko had not very good projections, right? Well, he's got to go on this motherfucker.
It wasn't even that. It was like it didn't make sense for me. I would have to drop one. I didn't want to drop. I don't know. Although Fiala hasn't been doing shit for me, I maybe should have done it. But anyhow.
The other thing I like about this, and maybe it's just because of it's the first week or whatever, but like Eric and Tony are 2 points apart right now.
Damn.
Like it's close. And then
me and your dad are 2 points apart too.
You guys are right now. It's 3.9.
Okay.
I don't have.
It's like right there. It's like you're one goal by one of your players changes it. Like you would.
I don't have a
lead.
great chance.
You guys are. What is that? 11 points? Yeah.
It's 11 points. The thing
Not
is,
terrible.
Nick Paul is negative right now, so I'm kind of rooting for a Tampa loss.
Come on. No.
And then my only guy I have left to play tonight is Brent Burns, and they're playing Anaheim.
Ooh,
so
that could change.
I can get 11 points out of Brent Burns against Anaheim.
Yep. Danielle's been stressing about it. She's like, she was stressing on that Wednesday because you had like 100 points. And she was like,
yeah, I had
100 points. What am I going to do? I'm like, Danielle, calm down.
I had a really good start to the week. And then it's been a little slow since then. I'm gonna probably make some roster changes this week, but I'm crossing my fingers for old Brent Burns.
But then my mom is not touching me.
What's that? What's that?
I have 306. I am the high guy this week in the league.
Yeah,
I've got the most points. My mom has 194. So I've got the win.
Unless she can magically pull something out of her ass.
There's only 2 games tonight, so you can't really do that unless you.
She would need
have
one person.
A lot of people from all 4 of those teams.
She'd need one person to get like the Ovech trick from that commercial. No. So I think I'm gonna go 1-0 for the first week, but the others, all the other series are all up in the air. So
will be decided until this evening.
Yep. My high guy so far, just in case you guys would like to know,
is who?
Is for the week is Elias Pettersson, 51 fantasy points.
Damn.
How do you do that?
If you go to matchup and then you look at your matchup. All of your players listed on the bottom, those are like weekly totals.
Gotcha.
I think mine is Pasternak.
But
Mine's
so
a-
far,
mine- mine's a
Yeah,
defenseman.
mine's
yours is who? Wait, who?
Josh Morrissey.
He's
It's
got. He's
25. He has 25, and Adam Fox has 25. I have
Does-
a lot of like.
what about
20s.
what if you go down to the bench? Do you have anybody on the bench tonight that has more?
No, I have.
Dang,
Let me see. 1, 2.
you just have a
3,
well-rounded attack,
6,
huh?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 guys with
Wow.
9 or more.
See, I was worried, and then Vancouver's first game against Edmonton happened, and I had 2 of them, and they both
Yeah.
went off like
Yeah,
30
yeah.
plus
What,
points from those
game,
guys.
4 goals, 3 goals.
Besser had 4 goals. Pedersen had a goal and like 3 assists, and then JT Miller had like 4 assists or in a goal or something. I don't know. They both went off. They both had like 33 points. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really had any nights. Wednesday was my only good night.
I had a good night from
It's-
the Florida boys last night.
Yeah.
All 3 of them had all over 10 points, and I was like, oh, probably not going to happen again.
Yeah. I am going to keep track of this year. I'm going to keep track of like highest scoring week, highest scoring night, and like, give out those at the end of the year. Like to who had the best. So right now Nick's in the lead for best night. Like, it was like 134 point something last night.
Damn.
Let's see.
Yeah. It was a lot. But right now I'm winning the best week, suckers.
I had
306.
133.3 last.
I don't give a
Okay.
fuck what the best week is. I just give a fuck if Brent
if
Burns
you
can
win.
give me like 15 points.
Yeah. But anyway, that's gonna end it off. Yeah, nice short and sweet episode here for us on a nice Sunday night. This is what we got to do because Nick's got to work and he has to get up at the ass crack of dawn to go to work. So
So
No,
we just do these quick
we
little
have
hits.
the ass crack of dawn to go to the gym and then go to work.
yeah, well there you go.
Wait, when do you start your work day?
7.
The crack ass of
You
dawn.
do gym before, so do you get a shower in after after gym?
Oh no, we get up at 4:30 ish, within a 5 to 10 minute time frame. She's always up at 4:30. I'm usually up at 4:40.
I could. I've usually
then
been
we
asleep
are
for
at-
maybe 2 hours at that point.
I know. I've seen some pictures that you've sent. I like 1:30 in the morning when you're just finally eating.
Damn it!
That's only on weekends. That's only on
So we
weekends.
get to the gym at 5. I work out till probably 5:40 at the latest. Get back, take a shower, and then if I got to get out of the house by about 6:15 to get to work at 7. So
That's early.
I'm up and at work, and I'm at work for an hour before you guys even get out of bed.
I usually get up at 10 a.m. every day.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ben gets up late. I get up at like 8:30.
Right.
So yeah. You've been busy for an hour before I'm even waking up.
But I leave at 4:30, and you guys leave. Well, you don't get done.
My day
till
ends at 8:30.
You're
6.
late. So.
It's how it's it's a trade off.
I'm a night owl, so it works for me. I like being up late. I like the nighttime.
I will say last night. No, the night before last night, Friday night. I was up till like 11:45, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I have like pins keeping my eye.
Crazy night, my god.
Oh, that's
Dude,
the
I was
latest
up until 10 p.m., dude.
It's the latest I've been up in a long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
last night when I got back, we went to bed at like 9:30
You
ish.
pass right out. Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how it goes, dude. Okay. Well, we'll leave you all for another week, and we'll be back next weekend. So, watch some hockey. Catch a Bedard game. He's looked okay. He's looked pretty good. He's only 18, so yeah, he's looked very good for 18. Go
Losing
Lightning.
Taylor Hall right off the rip didn't help with him.
No.
He doesn't really have a lot to work with now.
No. Him and Corey. Perry.
Oh, one last little tidbit I feel like I have to
Oh.
mention because it was pretty fun. We got there in time for warm-ups, and the last skater on the ice for warm-ups was Corey Perry. And
It
his
always is.
tradition is to shoot a puck on the other team's net down the ice.
Oh, no.
And the whole arena cheered him as he was like on the ice, and like everybody was going like, oh, as it was like going to the net, and then when it went in, everybody
Oh,
cheered
that's cool.
because
That's cool.
he's really well liked from even just from the 1 year he was there, because he was such a big part of the
run.
cup run they had, the cup final.
Remember
run
when
they had.
everybody hated Corey Perry?
Oh,
Yep.
a lot of people still do. It's one of those things where it's once you have him on your team for a second and see what he can
That's
do.
what it is. Yeah.
It adjusts your opinion.
I've
That's
never
what it
been a
is.
hater. Corey, if you're listening, I've always enjoyed it. But,
My favorite Corey Perry story from the Lightning is when he was pissed off about a call the ref made, and he was fucking screaming at him, and they showed it on the broadcast, and Cooch is behind him on the bench with his glove up, laughing behind his glove. Like, you can tell he's fucking busting a gut right behind him.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Corey Perry, you hate him until he gets on your team, and you're like, yeah, he's not so bad. That's gonna do it for us. We will see y'all next week. Peace out.